Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another movie review. I almost said something else. Movie review on the Brad Judging channel. And today we're going to be talking about a movie called The Perfect Host. So I started watching this movie probably about a month ago, I think. And I only watched a little bit of the beginning, but I remember it because it was actually pretty good. And I knew I was going to go back and watch it at some point. I just didn't. And last night was the time when I went back and watched it. And I'm glad I did. Boy, was I surprised. Um, because I ended up watching another movie after that I'm going to review right after this one. Um, and boy, was if like I said, if I and I'm gonna say I said this at the beginning of the last video too, and I'm gonna say it in the next video. If I were to line up all three movies that I watched in the past week, I would not have guessed that these three that I talked about would have been in the order that they were. There's no way. Just by looking at what they were, the worst movie that I watched, I would have guessed would have been the best one. I was wrong. I was wrong. And I probably would have guessed that this one would have been the second best. I would have been right with that. But if I was going to choose between the two of the good movies that I found out were good, I would have been completely wrong. Because the best one of the three, I would have guessed was the worst. I would have guessed was the worst. So I'm glad I watched them. But the Perfect Host has, I don't know what his real name is. Maybe I should look that up. I don't know. But you'll know when I say, as I'm describing him, he's Frasier's brother on the Frasier Show. That's should tell you who he is, because a lot of people know Frasier's Show. They maybe not watch it very much, but they know who he is. He's a skinny guy. So it's Frasier's brother on the Frasier Show. Um, but I haven't really seen him in too many other things. And this is kind of a creepy movie. I don't know really what you would call it. It's not, I guess, a thriller. I guess what it would be called. Um, and it kind of starts out, and you kind of think it's going to be like kind of a B movie, but it's actually not. Um, it's just really good movie. It's a decent movie. It's something that kind of surprises you. Um, oh no! Stop it! Oh, but you start watching the movie, and the guy, you see who the main actor, one of the main actors, is the villain, and in my eyes, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a second-rate movie. It's not gonna be very good. If this guy's the main villain, I hope something else. But then you see Fraser's brother, that guy. Um, Kelsey Grammer, the guy that plays alongside Kelsey Grammer in the Frasier Show, and you're like, oh, okay, and you know he's going to be a big part in the movie anyway because he's in the movie poster with like a wine glass, a red wine glass, and you find out what that's about later. Um, but well, basically, the synopsis is just to lay it out for you. You find out more at the end of the movie. Like at the end of the movie, it's just like, and you're just like mind is blown with everything that's going on. Um, in the last 20 minutes, I believe all this happens, and you find out like a bunch of stuff. I'll say the last half an hour because I'm not sure. Um, oh gosh, okay. But a guy robs. They don't. It kind of confused. They don't show that part of it, but I guess he robs a bank. The way they act, like he robbed something else, like it wasn't a bank, but you find out it's a bank, like near the end or throughout the movie, which for a while you don't see them talking about what he robbed. You just find out him robbing a bank. Um, but anyway, he does this and he injures his foot some way anyway. I don't know. See, that's what I'm confused about because I think he injured his foot somehow and it was bleeding already. And then at the beginning of the movie, like, I'm not spoiling anything. Like it's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. Um, he goes in a convenience store, and after he puts the money somewhere, and he takes his costume off that he was wearing, his disguise, he puts that in a separate place. Um, he drives away, and he tries to get a different vehicle. Drops off his other vehicle, gets another vehicle, and he goes to this convenience store, and he Oh my gosh. And he's trying to buy stuff to clean up his foot so he can, get some alcohol and get some, I think, some cotton swabs, I think is what it was, some bigger cotton swabs. And he's getting this stuff, and all of a sudden this girl pulls a gun on the convenience store clerk. And I'm like, is this where this movie's going? But I know it was more than that. But the store gets robbed, and I think the bank robber is kind of irritated about this, and he's like, goes into the counter and he tries to kind of help relieve the situation and say, hey, just take what you want and get out of here. I don't want no trouble. And the girl wants his alcohol that he has to try and clean it, this peroxide, whatever he has. And he's like, I need it. I hurt my foot. And she's like, I don't care. So then it starts to take him off. And I think he either breaks it on purpose or she just drops it being a complete bitch. It's going to be that way. But something happens and she shoots him in the foot. So it doesn't help his foot any further. So now it's even worse. Um, and now he doesn't have the peroxide. So whatever. Um, and But the only thing that bugs me, like I said about the beginning of the movie about his foot, is that it's not even addressed. Like he continues to walk on and stuff like that. Like I'm sorry, but some realism needs to be in some of these movies like that because there's no way that somebody could have walked on that foot for that long and been okay. Like they would have freaking been screaming in pain probably. Um, and it didn't make much sense to me why he wouldn't have tried to go somewhere else before going to um, the guy's house. Oh God, the Perfect Host house. Kelsey Grammer's brother, or whatever you call him. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to remember his name on the show, or I would call him by that. But yeah, you find out that he goes and he ends up going to the thing. There's something with a postcard. You find out more about that later. Um, and it says his wife's out of town. So he goes there. He tells some big story about how he knows his wife. He just came back from Australia with his wife, and tells some big charade the bank robber does. And he's like, "Oh, okay, come on in the house." And and you'll find out later it's not really that much of a spoil. But when things start going on, you kind of wonder about that anyway. Um, at least I did. And so it kind of comes full circle once you start realizing what's going on. You kind of wonder about things because um, I don't want to give anything away without giving things away. Does that make any sense? Um, Certain characters in the movie, that's what I'll say, mention, where is your wife? Where is Julia? And it keeps getting brought up, and that's why I started to think like, is there a Julia? And you get that answer by the end of the movie. Um, well, actually, you kind of don't. Like, you kind of don't get the answer, and I don't really know the answer. But I could guess by the ending of the movie that possibly what the answer would have been. Um, oh, oh my god, I'm so sorry. But yeah, the Perfect House movie is so good. Check it out. It has a weird, kooky ending. It's not what you think, but I'm just gonna say this: the bank robber went to the wrong house. He definitely went to the wrong house. Um, uh, the ending of the movie was really good. It was a decent movie. It's a shocker. Like it's one of those movies where if it would have went any other direction, it probably wouldn't have been very good at all. But it had that twist. It had a lot of twists throughout the movie, and it had your mind continue to wonder what was going to happen with both the characters. What was going to happen? So two of the main I don't know what you call it, the pro antagonist or whatever. I know I'm completely wrong with that. Don't butcher me. But the bank robber, and then this perfect host, the guy, he seems like all clean and all really nice, and he wants to be the nice guy, and that's what they come off as. Bank robber's kind of rough and tumbly, and he's trying to be all fake nice and things like that. But they, yeah, yeah, they're not what they seem to be um, at all, either of them. So you find out about that in the movie. Interesting movie. If you haven't checked out Perfect Host, definitely check it out. It's on Netflix. Seen on Netflix. It was on Netflix currently, so if you go there and it's not on there anymore, I apologize after seeing this. Um, but it's one of those movies that I'll probably end up back on there at some point in time. That will get flipped to Amazon or Hulu or something like that. So it'll probably get moved around. Crackle too as well. The Perfect Host, really good movie. Like I said, I don't know the guy's name. He played Frasier's brother in the Frasier Show. Um, and Niles. I think Niles is his name. Yeah, Niles. Niles is the guy um, that's in this movie. Really good, and he's a great actor too. Why is it? There you go. I don't know if I was doing it again. But yeah, he's a really good actor. He does a really good job in this movie. So if you haven't checked out Perfect Host, definitely go check it out. Come back. Let me know what you thought about the movie. If you've already seen it, leave a comment down below what you think about it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, keep rocking.